I'm Masood Jalil, and this is a brief insight to my life. I started my life in Patna, where I was born. My father, industrialist and newspaper editor. We had a comfortable life. I was one of the 6 brothers and 2 sisters. We had to move to Calcutta because it was not safe for us to stay in Patna. Not safe because of all the communal rioting was happening at that period. So December 1946, we moved to Calcutta. Calcutta we only stayed for 3 months. April that year, 1947, we traveled to Karachi by train because Calcutta was again not going to be safe for Muslims. It was going to be part of India. So my father decided that it's important to be safe, and therefore we made this journey to Karachi. The boat journey was fortnight. While I was on the boat, I met people, strange people whom I have never met before. It was an experience. I shared a cabin with 3 people. There were 3 bunks. I was on the top bunk. Among them was Goanese and one other Indian. And they all were coming to England for various reasons. I had requests from one of the passengers to approach the captain for Eid celebration because that was the time when Eid was taking place. I did manage a room set aside from the captain to perform the function of celebration. I still remember that was important event on that boat trip. I arrived in Southampton. I remember distinctly that it was dark, about 4:30. And from there, I disembarked, went to the railway station, which was in the port itself. I traveled from Southampton to Birmingham in the darkness. The first impression I had when I arrived at 4:30 that it is completely dark. This was November the 5th, 1955. When I arrived in Birmingham, I contacted from the telephone booth the head of the training school. This was nearly midnight. In spite of that being that late, the head came with his wife to collect me. It was fortunate in that he did come to collect me because I had literally 50p in my pocket by the time I arrived in Birmingham. And from then on, I started my life. I met Helga in Birmingham at one of the University Union Club. This was in 1957. One evening when I was watching one of the films, somebody tapped on my shoulder, and when I looked around, it was my future wife, Helga. She asked me if I can move slightly on one side. I then thought that was rather presumptuous of this lady. Helga and I became close to each other, and we decided to visit her parent in Germany. So I had my first holiday in Germany early May in 1957. And that was very pleasant. We decided to get engaged while we were there. We returned to England and we wanted to be together, and we got married that year. Our wedding was a registry wedding and a Chinese meal. We started our life with family and then onward. We moved for my career. We had 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. Hashmat and Kai Thomas, boys, and Sabina and Amana, girls. All were born in Birmingham except Amana, who was born in Manchester. Once I started my job in Norwich, this was in 1974, I decided that I do not want to leave until I retire to go on holidays. Now children are of a certain age and we are able to get away during school holiday period as well as a half term with them. So we went on holidays twice a year, mainly to be in the sunshine. So we have been all over Europe, especially Spain and overseas. My first flight was first holiday we had in Mallorca. I've never flown before, so that was quite an experience. And after that, we have mainly been flying to various places, as well as we have long before, in 1974, we have been going to Germany with the car and the family. So I consider that as a family holiday. We have enjoyed our traveling while we were still young, long before we retired, and we carried on since. A wonderful experience seeing all over the world how people live and seeing things with your own eyes rather than either on the TV or hearing about the country. We have always tried to have a holiday where I can meet the local community rather than being in a hotel and seeing beach and the bar. I have much more contact with ethnic groups. I have two sisters in London, married with family, and I have got 4 brothers in Birmingham, and one sister, youngest one, is in Karachi, married with family. And after that, I took much more time for myself, got involved with charitable organizations to help them with their work and give my expertise freely so that I am active as well as helping the charities. And also I have been involved with public organizations like local parish council and of course my clubs, Rotary, bowling club, and that has been extremely pleasant period in my life and I'm still enjoying it in spite of all the ill health which recently I have had and I have recovered from it. And I hope I still have a few years to enjoy the family and life. While we have been in Norwich, we have our family reduced to 2 daughters. We lost our youngest son in 1979 in a car accident. And in 1999, we lost our eldest son with illness. We have got 2 grandchildren from our eldest son and 1 granddaughter from our eldest daughter. Both daughters have done well academically. The eldest one has worked for a long time in America while she was married in nursing and real estate. When she returned to England, she went back to university. She did her honors degree in art and history, and then masters, and then postgraduate teaching. Now she is a teacher in a high school. And our youngest daughter did her quantity surveying and degree, and then she moved on into general profession. She did her masters, and now she is working for the local authority in Norfolk. So on the whole, we have been pleased with the success of our children in terms of profession. Our grandchildren, eldest grandson, he is working now in Newcastle. He has done a degree in computer design. And the second granddaughter, who has completed her arts degree in Norwich, and now she has just started working for British Airways. And the youngest one, Caitlin, who has just completed her BA from Nottingham, and she is going to have her graduation ceremony. After that, she moves to Texas for work experience with a view of doing masters a year later. So that has been a brief history of our family, and that gives me pleasure that they are all hopefully going to settle in the appropriate profession of their choice. Although I have experienced trauma, challenges, tragedy and sadness during various phases of my life, I have been blessed to have Helga in my life a loving wife, and a caring mother to children and grandchildren. Helga has been an important part of my life. I'm also grateful to my parents for enabling me to come to England, which is now my home.